Yeah. Right idea. Ah. I have no idea what she just said there. Part of the challenge of actually living here is that you've got a language issue. And then you've got an accent issue on top of it, which makes it really hard. I find some people say the same thing, but it sounds completely different. Number 3. So this hole's pretty straightforward. There's not much trouble unless you go too far, and I'm not intending doing that. So I'm setting this up so that I can kind of be probably just a bit short of the flag, trying to hit it nice and solid, and that's the plan. Not the world's greatest golf shot. Yeah, short, Josh, short. And actually, look at that, I've just hit far too far down it, because there's my divot here. I should really have been doing that, but didn't. Burst my tee as well. A lot of golfers play this one all wrong. The idea here is you get the thing on and you get it rolling. At least that's how I was brought up, how I was taught. You just get on at the surface and allow it to roll out towards the hole. So that's the game. That's what we're going to try and do. And you don't need to take a great big swing at it with a wedge. You can probably do something nice with like a 9-iron or an 8-iron. Yeah, we'll see. See, that's pretty clever. I hope you got all that. The thing about that shot particularly is I wasn't trying to hit it too hard. Just a case of getting a good solid contact. Now, very happy that it turned out to be a foot for the hole. And that we can just walk away on to the next. Being a gent of a certain age, as in an old git, you find that your distance off the tee diminishes as you get older. This type of hole, if I went back sort of till I was your age, Josh, I would eat this thing up. So this, see that tree up there, Josh, the one that's standing on its own? So you've got a bunker to the right of that, and that's kind of in my danger zone in terms of there. So my aim is to be I'll probably be just short of that tree, and if I aim at that tree, then the natural run of the ground is going to take it round. I think you're probably getting some run today, but not much. Whoa! Tell you what, Josh, I scalped that. I couldn't hit that any better. Whew! And I'm probably 60 yards behind where I used to be. Anyway, that's good. I'm happy with that. Yeah. That's a hell of a big lens that you've got there, Josh, for a shot this close. So I suppose I should tell you why we're doing this. Why Josh is sat behind the camera and why I'm driving this buggy around with this camera pointed in my face. So we had an idea collectively that we could put together a really interesting golf channel on YouTube, primarily on YouTube. Seen lots of stuff that's out there, and it's great. I mean, the majority of it's fantastic. Some of it maybe not so. But we thought we could do something here that showed you a little bit of golf, gave some tips for people who are maybe in advancing years and looking to play this game to the best of their ability. But also to blend in what it's like to do that here in the French Riviera. I mean, today we're playing a lovely course called Grande Bastide. And you know, it's a nice course without being massively challenging, but by the same token, it's the kind of course that as you get on a bit, you're wanting to, it's the type of course you want to play. And so that's the idea behind this, is to showcase some of these fantastic courses down here, the great weather, and obviously a bit of lifestyle, because that's kind of what a lot of people come here for. So if you're thinking about your next golf holiday, or you're just interested in the region generally, and golf generally, then we hope this channel will be something that you'll enjoy, that you'll consider subscribing to, and if you like any of the videos that we're putting out, we're going to put them out regularly, probably 2 or 3 times a week, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. So I'm Alan Christie. The channel's called the Riviera Golf Guy, which is kind of really it's sort of all about what we're looking to do. It's not the Riviera Golf Gent or the Riviera Golf Professional, because I'm far from that. I'm just a decent amateur golfer that's studied the golf swing for the last 30 years or more, I think. Probably more than that now, which is scary. And who understands a bit about scoring and playing the golf course. And on top of that, Josh is going to go doing lots of stuff round about, so you'll see where we are. In each case, we'll probably spend some time in the clubhouse. I'm going to bring some friends out and play golf. I've been living down here for just over a year and a half now, so I'm just kind of starting to find my feet. My French is borderline rubbish, but I can get by, and it's just that it's a fantastic place to live in, so we wanted to share it. So back to the hole, Josh. There's my ball there. It's actually, I said aim at the tree and it'll come down to the left, which is exactly what I did. I was lucky it came off. And I have hit it, 240 yards in old money, so 200 and whatever meters. And I've got 250 meters to go. Now, the one thing about this hole that's interesting is, one, it's a bitch of a green. It really is quite slopey. Two, in front of the green there's a little stream at the bottom of a valley. And so the kind of way you want to play this is not go and thrash at it and get it as far up there as possible. You want to think about this in terms of hitting the right club so that your next shot in is a club that you feel really confident with. Now for me, I feel confident with anything from probably 7 down, I feel I'm pretty solid. So the way I would look to play this hole is probably set it up so as I've got sort of around about 100 yards to go, something like that, a nice easy wedge. And so that means that I've got to hit this ball, how far, let me see if I lose myself. Great thing about this is it tells you what you've got to do. So I want to be somewhere around about there, 85 to 100 metres. So 166 metres, which is 180-ish, 182, 184 yards, something like that. So you want to hit that so as you've got something approaching a wedge left. And that gives you a good chance of scoring on the next, because I can't get there in 2. I can't hit I've hit my driver 240 yards. I'm not going to hit my 3-wood or anything like that. So the way you can play this is you can play this 2 or 3 ways. Don't kick my ball, Josh. I'd be really upset if you did that. You're too damn close. You can either play this with like a sort of long iron, or you can go easy on a recovery club. And I'm probably more inclined to go easy on a recovery club, because it's the sort of shot that we play a fair bit of. And if I go too far, then it's fine. I've got 3 wedges. Okay. That's just about perfect. That's good. That's kind of right up where we want it, I would think. Proof of the pudding will be in the eating when we get there, but it's about where I was wanting to go. So it's still in the middle of the fairway. So I think, so this is my golf philosophy, I suppose. Golf is really about control. Right, so it's not trying to thrash the pants off it. Particularly the older you get, it's more, so golf is a game you can play your entire life. That's what makes it so fantastic. That's why we enjoy it so much. And because of the handicap system, you can compete with anybody. And as you get older, you kind of theory, I know a few people who disagree with this with me, but theory is that you get a bit smarter. And that means that you think about what you're doing and you actually try and do everything within yourself. So that for me is the key thing. So it's much more about being smart. It's much more about actually, this might actually even be right on the money, Josh, where I said I was going to hit it, which is really impressive, I think. So I said 100 yards, Josh, where I was wanting. It's 90 metres, which by my book is about 98 yards, which is damn near perfect. So now I used to hit a sand wedge this distance quite comfortably, and I found as I've got older, providing I hit it solid, I can hit a wedge this distance. So that's what we're about to try and do. That's kind of right on it, Josh. Go ball, go. Actually, smidgen. That's a good word, Josh. I think I should explain where I'm from and where I grew up and how I was playing golf. So, smidgen is a fine Scottish word. It denotes a little bit, I would say. That's it. I grew up in Scotland. Lived there practically all my life. Played golf there from an early age. Probably didn't really start playing golf until I was maybe 13, 14. My life was mostly taken up by football at that age, and then didn't really come back to golf until I was probably after maybe 20 or thereabouts. Yeah. So I've been playing golf a lot. I've played to a reasonable standard all my life. Not brilliant, I was never a good enough putter to be really solid, but I was a good tee to green player. And so that means you can enjoy golf and then be endlessly frustrated by putting, which is kind of where I'm at. So the really important thing in this hole is that you end up below the hole. And I read it the wrong way. Bloody hell, pardon the French. God, can't believe that. Good solid putt, just hit it in the wrong place. Anyway, tap in for par, all things being equal. There we go. So we've had 4 pars, Josh. That's what we've opened up with. This is a really nice little par 3 because you have trouble long, trouble left, horrible little mounds to the right, but actually if you hit them there they can sometimes kick you in towards the green, and the flag's sitting pretty central really. The greenkeeper's obviously not falling out with his wife last night, so he's been generous with his flag placements. Josh. Pin high just blocked out to the right. This is the pissed face. Not happy with that. So you've almost got to play this like a bunker shot. It's a big good one to get behind actually, Josh, providing I can pull it off. Now actually, you know our greenkeeper friend over there, so you see what he's doing with the greens, he's taking all this moisture off the greens. So actually in this case this will help me because it will slow it down a bit when it releases, because actually I'm going to be hitting on it a slight downslope. So go off. So what I want to play here is I want to play something quite high so as it lands softly. So this one you're aiming kind of miles left here, but you've got the club face hitting towards the target, and so the idea is that you just slide the ball underneath it, pop it up in the air, and then hopefully we'll land it just on or around the green, and it'll just jump forward a little bit, but not too much. That's the plan. Jew's got it, right in line. Yeah, I should have listened to my own advice there, Josh. Hit it a bit harder. So in golfing parlance, that's called a bogey, and that's not a good thing, particularly on a simple hole like that. It's one of the downsides about golf in France. It's the only downside I can think of. In the summer months, we were right at the start of September just now, so a lot of the crazy heat's gone out, but you still get many bugs that really like biting you. So you need to be well prepared with the right type of spray, which is where you're at. In Scotland, where I'm from, then in the summer months, we had things called midges, and they were an absolute nightmare. They would bite as well, so I guess you get that the world over when it's hot. This hole again is just straight away, but there's a lot of trouble. Kind of left and right, and I can't see the flag for the life of me at the minute. Oh, that's pretty much right in the middle as well. That's a good ball. One of the things that we try to create here is there aren't that. So you get lots of PGA Tour professionals or teaching professionals who will kind of come out and tell you about how to do this and how to do that. And that's fine, they all play golf to a certain standard. Most of my mates that play golf, I play golf with, are not particularly great. And that's true of the majority of people who play this great game. They struggle for whatever reason. I consider myself pretty lucky because I've never really found it that difficult a game. Found it very frustrating at times. But as an idea, we thought, so I help a lot of people on the golf course, at least I hope I do. Because some things are really obvious in terms of what people do, right or wrong. And so you can really help out with that. And I guess that's a big part of what this channel is going to be. Josh, you should look at this ball again, because that's right in the middle of the field. Look at that split in those bunkers, isn't that fantastic? I tell you.
Really is.
So that drive was about 245 yards, so pretty consistent. 240 there or thereabouts seems to be what I'm driving at. Sometimes down to about 220, and sometimes if I've got a gale behind, I might get up to 250, 260. But mostly about that, and mostly pretty straight because I swing within myself. And that's for me, that's part of the key about playing golf. The older you get, particularly, is that you can no longer overpower a golf course, but that doesn't mean they say that you can't score. So you've just got to be playing a bit more within yourself. So I generally always swing on the basis of whatever I think I could get there with if I hit my Sunday best. I'll take one or sometimes even two clubs less. And whereas a lot of the guys that I play with who get nowhere, who might shoot 90 to 100 or maybe even more, then they're taking clubs where they really want to thrash it. Every time they think the Sunday best is the thing that's going to happen. The majority of the time, it doesn't really happen. If once in a blue moon you hit your Sunday best, then that's great. Except the fact that you'll go along with it. But anyway, it's telling me here that I've got something like 150 yards. There or thereabouts. Don't stand my ball, Josh. You get in trouble. Oh, heavy. That's a bad shot, Josh. That is a bad shot. This shot's actually quite tricky because it's fallen away from me a little bit and everything falls from the right to the left. So I've got to aim it slightly right. That's not enough, Josh. Not enough. Roll out. Come on, ball. Roll out. Ah. And that right to left thing didn't work either. Hold it. Ah. Bugger. We're going to try that one again, Josh. That's annoying. That looked in all the way until there. Okay. So I suppose in reflection, you shouldn't make bogeys for the middle of the fairway, but a lot of people do. My problem there wasn't really my chip because it was okay, albeit it could have gone another 3 or 4 feet and I'd have been really happy. But it was much more the second shot, which was I picked the right club, but I hit it really heavy, which wasn't good. And yeah, that caused the problem. So anyway, we now have we've got a short par 4 here, which is really quite tricky shot, actually, quite tricky hole coming up. But this is one where actually you just want to get it out there as far as you can and leave yourself a nice, simple shot back to the oh god, the flag's kind of tucked right behind the bunker. So actually in this one, if you see the flag there and you can see that big bunker in front of it, so this is actually, if you can zoom in on that sign, see that sign over there? It says Charity Bunker. So if you go in that bunker there, you've got to put a euro into a collection box just at the back of the green, or maybe even at the clubhouse, can't remember because I've never been in it. But it's actually because of where the flag is, which is on the right hand side of the green, then the best place to be is as far up as you can make it on the left. I don't mind even being in the bunker up on the left, coming in from there, albeit I'd like to be able to get it over the top of them. So that's the plan, I think. Or into the gap somewhere between the green, so I've got a nice straightforward shot going in. So let's see if we can pull that one off.